No one took humans seriously on Zarnath Station, not really. Sure, we had representation, trade agreements, and even a few joint military ventures with the galactic conglomerate. But the truth was simpler. To most aliens, humans were amusing, unpredictable, and not entirely credible. Especially to her. Zariel of House Tiras, 12 feet of shimmering violet scales, golden eyes with vertical slits, and a voice that could shatter glass or soothe a crying infant depending on her mood. She was the commandant of Zarnath's security division, heir to a noble bloodline on her homeworld, and a constant, insufferable presence in my daily life. And she loved mocking me. "You have such short legs, human," Zariel had hissed with a grin one afternoon in the briefing chamber, her tail swishing idly as I stood to report. "How do you even keep up with your species? Or do they carry you around?" The room had laughed. Even the androids. I clenched my jaw, completed my briefing, and left the chamber without a word. That was the unspoken rule for humans on Zarnath. Take the hits, smile if you can, and never let them know it bothered you. But that was yesterday. Tonight was different. Because Zariel had called me to her private quarters. Not for discipline. Not for duty. She had sent a direct transmission. "Ensign Reese, you will report to my quarters at 2200 standard hours. Come alone. No explanation. No protocol. No rank mentioned. Just a simple, cryptic command." So now here I stood, palms slightly sweating, outside the gilded six-paneled archway that guarded her chambers. A pair of crimson-armored Dreckner guards gave me long, unblinking stares but stepped aside. The door slid open. Warm, citrus-scented air spilled out. And Zariel was waiting. She wasn't in uniform. She was lounging on a coiled nest of woven velvet and synth silk, wearing a sleeveless wrap that glowed faintly in the ambient light, exposing the intricate patterning along her collarbone, marks of honor and combat kills in her culture. "Come in, little human," she purred. "Don't just stand there looking terrified. I've already eaten tonight." I stepped in cautious. The doors sealed behind me with a whisper. "You called me," I said, trying to keep my voice even. "This isn't protocol." She tilted her head. "No, it isn't. I don't care." Silence stretched between us. Then she let out a long breath, less a sigh, more a soft exhalation of thought. "Tell me something," she said, voice suddenly quieter. "Why don't you fight back?" "Against you." I raised an eyebrow. "You're 3 times my size and command the entire station's firepower." Zariel narrowed her eyes, displeased. "Not just me. Against all of us. We mock you, diminish you, yet you serve with discipline. You endure. You don't lash out or storm off." Shrug. "Because I'm not here to prove I'm strong. I'm here to do my job." Zariel studied me for a long moment. "Do you know what we call humans in our native tongue? I imagine it's not flattering. It means whispers in the storm, things we expect to vanish." He nodded. "And yet here we are." She stood then, and it was like watching a tree come to life. Immense, fluid, beautiful in a terrifying way. "You surprise me, Reese," she said, stepping forward. "I mock you, and you hold your tongue. I insult your species, and you offer competence. Do you know how rare that is?" I didn't reply. I just watched her. "I called you here for more than curiosity," she said, circling around me now. Her taloned fingers lightly brushing the air near my shoulder but never touching. "I wanted to know why you remain unshaken. You're confusing. And confusion is dangerous." Smirk. "Maybe I'm just too dumb to be insulted." That made her laugh. A rich, rumbling sound that echoed in the chamber like thunder filtered through velvet. "You think so little of yourself." "No. I just don't need you to validate me." That stopped her in her tracks. Interesting, she whispered. So many in this station would kneel for my attention. I'm not on this station to kneel. There was a silence then. Heavy. And electric. Then Zariel's expression shifted. I've tested you. Mock you. Tried to see if you were just another soft-shelled human eager to please. But you stood firm. That's rare. That's... She stepped closer again. Valuable. Are you saying this is some twisted evaluation? I asked, incredulous. A test of character. In my culture, she said slowly, the strength of a potential mate is measured not in blood spilled, but in self-control, patience, and defiance under pressure. I blinked. Wait. What? He grinned. You passed. My heart slammed against my ribs. You brought me here to evaluate me for mating? Zariel tilted her head. Is that so surprising? Yes. You've been mocking me for months. She gave a low purr. In my species, it's a form of courting, testing boundaries, prodding for substance. You responded with unexpected grace. I ran a hand through my hair, stunned. So this entire time you weren't just messing with me for fun? Oh, I was having fun, she said with a toothy smile. But I was also curious. You're unlike the others. You don't grovel. You don't hide behind your species. You simply endure. I swallowed hard. And what happens now? That depends, she said, voice now lower, more serious. Would you refuse me? Her eyes bore into mine, not with command but genuine curiosity. Challenge even. Took a breath. Let me make something clear, Zariel, I said, stepping forward. I'm not afraid of you. I never was. And I didn't endure your taunts because I was weak. I did it because you weren't worth breaking protocol for. Her eyes narrowed. But now you've invited me here, and I see something else. Not a superior officer or some fearsome noble. Just someone who's looking for something real, even if she doesn't know how to ask for it. Zariel's nostrils flared slightly. You speak boldly for one so small. I speak honestly, I said. And maybe that's what you're looking for. There was a long pause. Then softly, almost reverently, Zariel said, Sit. Sep. She coiled herself beside me, her massive body curving protectively around without touching. I have lived through 24 planetary cycles, she said quietly. I have seen wars, signed treaties, and witnessed stars die. But you bring something new, something chaotic, in shape. I want to understand it. I met her gaze. Then start by understanding me as an equal. Not a curiosity. She nodded once. Agreed. We talked for hours after that. Not as officer and subordinate. Not as alien and human. But as two people from distant worlds, finding common ground. The next day, I walked into the command chamber like usual. Zariel was already there. She said nothing at first. Let the room settle. Then, as I passed her to submit my report, she murmured just loud enough. Your legs are still short, human. The room chuckled. But then she added, and yet somehow you keep outrunning us all. Dead silence. Eyes turned. Head swiveled. And then something new. Respect. From her. From everyone. I gave a nod and returned to my station. Sometimes respect doesn't come from shouting. Sometimes it walks in quietly on short legs and earns its place.